Okay, so moving on to a Waterlilly in ribbon. So for this you're going to need some thread on a needle, regular sewing thread will do, and 2 shades of ribbon. These are extremes, they're a bit too different, but it's what I've got in the shed at present. So start with your lightest one, and it does help if it's a good width. About 1/2 inch or thereabouts is more suitable than the thinner ones. So I think I mentioned this yesterday, how to thread a wider ribbon. So you fold it over and then cut it, so you end up with a diagonal cut on 2 edges, and then stick that through your needle and anchor that in the same way. So you just sew through the top there. So I'm just going to tie a quick knot in the bottom. It's not completely necessary to knot a ribbon really. If you're using a thread alongside the ribbon, then you can just go through it a couple of times with the thread and that's fine. So here I've got 2 somewhat concentric circles. So you need to start from the inside and then lay the ribbon flat across the outside edge, and take your thread and come through just a couple of running stitches. I'm actually going to anchor that because I don't think it's going to stay in the fabric. Okay. Sorry, my table's a little messy. Okay, so anchor the ribbon around the top of the circle with a couple of stitches. Like that. That way it stays flat and you come down and just stitch through. You end up with a nice slightly triangular petal. So do that all the way around. You do them as tight together as you want, just to kind of help it. So you're obviously going to do that all the way around your circle. I don't currently have time for that. And then you move on to your inner ribbon. So I'm going to start this with a cut on the diagonal, and I'm going to bring my needle through right in the middle of my middle circle, like that, and then just roll over this edge so that I'm starting with the raw edge contained. So I'm just going to sew through that a couple of times into the middle of my flower here. Just to make sure that's secure. Okay, and now we need to start gathering this ribbon. So it's easier to do it actually on the piece. So I'm going to start by just doing a running stitch the length of my needle, so about that much, and then pulling through, and then pull in and gather that onto the thread and then sew it into place. So I'm going to come round gather that part in place and then come back through and another stitch just to hold that. Like that. Sometimes it's easier to gather off the material and then come back, but this one is a lot easier to do it actually on the material. So I'm just going to continue, going to do another line of running stitch, and about a needle's length is easier to kind of control. And then to make it slightly easier, I'm going to bring the needle and thread around to about where I want this to go, so I can then gather it directly on like that and put it in as much as I want. And then run a stitch through just to secure that in place. And then just continue around and around and around until you reach the bottom of your petals here, and make sure you put a stitch in the bottom of each petal so it's completely finished and contained.